Hey everyone, it's Paul here with Tool Metrics. Laguna's redesigned their entire table saw product line. They've got now the Fusion 1, Fusion 2, and Fusion 3. I've got here a Fusion 1. This is a 1.5 horse, 110 volt table saw. And I'm going to just go through the process of unboxing it. I'll show you kind of what I find inside the box, how it's packaged and so forth. I'll walk you through a little bit of the setup process as I go through it. I will share some preliminary observations and fire the thing up at the end and do a couple test cuts. And then that'll be it for now. Then I will go off and do some deeper testing and come back with a deep dive examination going through feature by feature and measure everything that I can measure like I like to do in these videos. So sound output, power, amperage draw, vibration, run out, anything that I can measure on this I will. And I'll put that together in a deep dive video shortly, as soon as I can put the tests together and get everything run. So for now, just kind of ride along as I unbox this and go through the setup process. All right, that is well packaged. Nothing was going to get jarred loose in there. All right, in the top layer of packaging, looks like you got the fence. It's a pretty hefty fence. And you've got the fence rails. It's like a two-piece split design for the fence rails, front and back. Got the miter gauge, push stick, hand wheels, and then a bunch of miscellaneous hardware. So let me lift this shelf out and see what's in the next tier. All right, now down in tier 2 of the packaging, we've got a good look at the rest of the saw here. These appear to be part of the base. I'm guessing these are extension wings for the saw. Not sure what that is yet. Maybe a bottom panel, if it has a bottom panel on it. That would be the removable portion of the cabinet, the access panel. And there we can get a glimpse down into the underside of the saw, where we've got dust collection coming from the rear, extending up to a shroud around the blade. We've got a glimpse at the motor, and then a view from the bottom of the mounting system, where the undercarriage is mounted to the saw. We've got the overarm dust collection. And it's like a box of miscellaneous hardware here, and perhaps some additional components of the dust collection. So let me get this slid out of the box and start to figure out an assembly strategy. All right, now with the saw flipped over, we get our first glimpse at the cast iron. It's hefty, 27 by 20, nice thick slab of cast iron, really polished out nicely. Next step is to assemble the base. And so these pad feet go on first. And there's a good amount of travel in these for height adjustability and leveling. So I'm leaving myself about 3/4 of an inch or so of height adjustment and leveling capability, just so I can accommodate for any imperfections in the floor surface where it sits. Next, I'm connecting up the base components. All right, I thought it might be easier to mount the table saw to the base with the saw flipped upside down, have just easier access to the mounting holes. They've included this panel that gets installed underneath the saw body, and this is presumably to contain dust, which is always a good thing. All right, this part is probably a better two-person operation, but nobody's home, so I'm going to just give it a go myself. Just lift with your legs if you have to do it this way. All right, when I install table saw wings, I like to get them finger tight and then put the straightest thing in the shop across them, across, bridging the gap between the cast iron and the wing, and then get it dialed in. Taking a little bit more time now will make you happy later. And now installing the rails gives me the opportunity to bring the extensions into perfect alignment with the cast iron. A couple observations on this switch. First, it's beefy, kind of feels industrial quality, simple operation, and I really like the knee accessible stop button. That's usually a kind of an aftermarket accessory, so I like that they included it standard, and I also like the way that it slides into the rail for easy installation and allows you to position it where you want. I like these registration pins that make it easy to get the fence registered properly and aligned. I really like the blade guard on the saw. There's independent side panels, integrated overarm desk collection, and an integrated riving knife as well. For cuts where you're not able to use the assembly, there's a separate riving knife that can just pop in as needed. What I really like about it is that everything just swaps out so easily if you have to do that for various cuts on a project, which is inevitable. It's just really easy to do that, which to me means people will actually use the blade guard, which is a great feature. Fence assembly doesn't get much easier than that to put the fence on and off a saw. Locks down solidly. Nice. Dust hose hookup is easy with these thumb screw band clamps. All right, it's time for that fun moment of truth. I will turn on the saw, let's see what it sounds like, and then see if it's got the muscle to cut through this piece of oak. Well, it made short work of that, no problem at all, good cut quality. So that's going to be it for now. What I'll do is put it through its paces and then let me come back and do a deep dive analysis and go through it kind of feature by feature. I'll get a dust collector hooked up to it so we can see how the extraction works. We'll see how the power is cutting some bigger material, and I'll get back to you soon with the deep dive analysis. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you will give it a thumbs up if you found it useful, and please subscribe to the Toolmetrics channel for more woodworking, wood turning, and DIY videos.